Hello everyone, Chris here reporting for United People's TV with another weekly loan update for you. And it's a fairly big one this week. I've got quite a lot of news to give you. So let's start with the goalkeepers. Victor Valdez at Standard Liège. Now, Standard Liège won 4-1 at home to Muscron Peveritz at the weekend. But Victor Valdez was injured. And he got injured in training the week before with a really bizarre injury. Apparently, according to one of the Standard Liège coaches, he took a football full on in the face from close range, which then locked his neck, and then the pain spread down to his shoulder, and that ruled him out of the game at the weekend. Now, I'm not sure how long taking a football full on in the face leaves you out for, but hopefully Victor Valdez will be back playing soon. So, I hope you get well soon, Victor. Moving on to Kieran O'Hara at Morecambe, and it's fair to say that he had an absolute nightmare last week. He just had a horror show. He was starting, which is good, for Morecambe against Cambridge United, and they lost 7-0. They were 5-0 down at half time, and it's just a nightmare scenario for Kieran O'Hara. So he was dropped for the weekend's game. But you know what? He's a young goalkeeper, 19 years old. Every goalkeeper has a game where they can't save anything. It seems like every shot the opposition has ends up in the back of the net. I mean, even De Gea's had games like that. Like the 6-1 against Man City a few years back. I actually just... Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, I'm trying to forget that game ever happened. Let's move on to Tyler Blackett. Nothing. Once again, just heard nothing. And do you know what? I can safely say, his loan spell has been an absolute disaster. It has. It's been a disaster. He's not getting any games at all. And it's quite clear now that on the back of this, I can't see him having a future at Manchester United. I think he's going to be released. And he's going to have to completely rebuild his career. And it's all because he's had a horror show of a loan spell. It's really sad, actually, I think. But let's move on to Nick Powell, who's unfortunately, is another sad story, really. He's been injured and out for the rest of the season. But then we've got two strikers who are both trying to get their respective teams promoted. And, in both cases, they have a reasonable chance. Firstly, let's start with Ashley Fletcher at Barnsley. Now, Fletch, his loan spell's been superb. And recently he came off the bench in a 1-0 win against Peterborough and started a 0-0 draw against Sheffield United, where he had a goal disallowed. So he's been really in the thick of things. Now, that leaves Barnsley just inside the playoff places in League One by 1 point with 2 games to go. So it's really exciting. Let's move on to James Wilson at Brighton. Now, Brighton are on absolute fire and have been for the last few games. They've been scoring for fun, and James Wilson, whilst he's not been getting the goals, he's been starting quite a few of their games, and he's been coming off the bench in a couple. He started a 4-0 thrashing of QPR, and he came off the bench in a 3-1 win against Charlton. And what that does for Brighton is it leaves them third at the minute, but they're third only on goal difference. The situation in the Championship, as you may know already, is there are 3 teams on 87 points. There's Burnley, Middlesbrough and Brighton. And they're both vying for the 2 automatic promotion places. And, all of those 3 teams have got 2 games left. And they're level on points and they're just separated by goal difference. So it's really tight and really exciting. So there's a genuine chance that James Wilson could get promoted. There's a chance for Ashley Fletcher as well, but there's less of a chance. There's more of a chance for James Wilson. So it's really exciting stuff. So keep your eyes on the Championship. It's going to be interesting last few weeks of the season. I hope you've found this video informative. Like the video, subscribe to United People's TV if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. There's lots to discuss. Do you think Fletch and Wilson are going to get promoted? What's next for Tyler Blackett? It's a very big question. So leave your comments down below. Take care, and I'll see you soon.